Assalamu alaikum. So today's video is going to be talking about how I did Umrah in 2024 while I was pregnant. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure to go watch our Umrah vlog. It's under international traveling, that international travel playlist. It's a really fun vlog. I think you guys will really enjoy it. That was my first ever Umrah, and we had not planned the pregnancy. The trip was planned before we found out, but these are some things that helped me throughout Umrah, throughout that really long travel experience, and I wanted to share with you guys. So inshallah, if you are going for Umrah, or if you are, these tips can even help you when you're traveling internationally. So if you want to take a paper and a pen, don't forget to write them down, and we can get started. Okay, so I'll start off by telling you all that we were going from Jacksonville to New York, I believe, and then we went to Doha, and that's where we met up with my husband's parents. So we did have grandparent support to help us. We had Zahra already. We were expecting our second baby. So from Doha, we went to Jeddah, and then we drove to Makkah, and then we performed our Umrah there. When you're traveling internationally while pregnant, the first most thing you need to remember is your compression socks, because when you're pregnant, a lot of stuff slows down in your body, and compression socks are just going to help move that blood flow even better. When you're in the airplane, you need to be getting up and moving every hour to a couple of hours. Stretch your legs, walk around. As a pregnant person, you're more vulnerable to blood clots, and you don't want that. That's really dangerous. In addition to walking around, I was having a lot of water. I was drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, having juice, pretty much, everything to stay hydrated. And I also used these packets of liquid IV. You can use Gatorade, you can use liquid IV, whatever electrolyte packet that you prefer. I liked liquid IV because it had all the electrolytes that I needed. The taste was good, and so you want to take that with you in your purse, in your bag. And I hate airplane bathrooms as much as the next person. I literally fear them. I had a traumatic experience when I was younger. I got locked in an airplane bathroom, and the flight attendant had to open the door, and everyone was staring at me. I hate airplane bathrooms, but trust me, when you're pregnant, you're gonna want to drink the water, and you're gonna want to drink the juice, and you need to, and therefore you will have to go to the bathroom. So put your big girl pants on, go to the airplane bathroom, do it for yourself, do it for your baby. So that was traumatic. I usually try not to go to the airplane bathrooms, even if it's like a 14-hour or 10-hour flight. But in this case, I was like, no, I can't be doing that right now. So make sure you're staying hydrated. And electrolyte packets are really, really, really helpful in this situation. Also, so I was about 4 months pregnant when we were doing Umrah. I had finished my first trimester, but even after completing my first trimester, I was still nauseous. I had a little bit of vomiting here and there, as I did with both pregnancies. So I find that for me, what works is that those ginger lemon chews are really helpful. Having lemonade is so nice, especially if it's cold. And then having small snacks here and there. So I packed like little crackers with me, had some cheese sticks, or some chips, maybe some gummies, some sour gummies. I packed some snacks here and there just to make sure that I wasn't nauseous through the trip. And especially after, so Zahra was about a year and a half at that point. Running around with her at the airport, going up and down escalators. Like we would take turns, sometimes my husband, sometimes me. And then once we reached Doha, the grandparents were there to help as well. But we did do the majority of the trip ourselves. So from Jacksonville to New York to Doha, that was a really, really long trip. That was like maybe 14 or 15 hours total. So we did that on our own, and then had the help of the grandparents before we went for Omrah. And another big thing is having that help is so necessary if you already have kids, because I'll try to insert a pic here, but my father-in-law, while we were doing Omrah, while we were doing Tawaf, he was able to hold my daughter on his shoulders, which was such a core memory for all of us. And I would rather that than her walking in the crowd. Which leads me to our next tip. Omrah is a physically demanding journey. It's very crowded. So the crowds, no matter what time of year you're gonna go, you will be faced with crowds. And it was crowded when we went in February. So I was pregnant and I was scared about like getting elbowed or getting pushed through. So I wore like one of those sling backpacks that you can take to the gym, or you can just, it's like a drawstring backpack, and I put it in front. So I wore it like this, kind of like a turtle shell in front to cover my belly. I had put shoes in there and stuff like that just for an extra blockage. And I think that was really helpful, especially because it does get really crowded, and when you're doing Tawaf, people just move you out of the way. And since we did go in February, the weather was pleasant. It wasn't too hot. The sun can get a little bright though, so if you want to take an umbrella, you can. But I didn't think it was that necessary since we did Omrah. We got there at like before Fajr, I think. And we did Omrah in the, while it was still dark outside, and then, yeah, it slowly became lighter. I can't remember properly. I think it was like right during Fajr time, after Fajr time. It was early morning, so it was like, it was well before 9 a.m. when we did our Omrah, and I think that helped a lot, especially pertaining to the weather. But if you do happen to go at a time where it's really hot, and you are pregnant, make sure you take, sun protection, water, sunscreen, all of that. Okay, so now you've gotten to Makkah, you're about to start your Omrah, what next? A lot of people take really comfortable slides, like the women. Women tend to take really comfortable slides. If you're pregnant, if your feet hurt, depending on what stage of the pregnancy you are in, I would recommend taking some comfortable slides. I'll try to insert a picture here. I did take slides that I bought from Target. However, once I got to, to do my Omrah, I took my shoes off, and I actually found that I liked walking on the cold marble barefoot. It felt really nice, really cooling. I always tend to get hot flashes, really warm during my pregnancy, so I thought that was really nice. And when we did Sa'i, when we were going between Safa and Marwa, I also went barefoot. I actually enjoyed it. There's also locations all throughout the masjid where they have Zamzam water for you to drink. There's Zamzam water clearly labeled for wudu, and there's Zamzam water clearly labeled for you to drink. I would take advantage of that. Drink as much as you can. It's cold, it's refreshing. They keep it in these nice containers. They have cups available for everyone. And try to stay hydrated as much as possible. It is a very, very physically demanding journey. You will be very tired at the end of it. Your legs will hurt. It's a lot. Like, you're going to be walking 7 times for Tawaf, and that's already like a big round. I don't know how many miles that equates to. I'll try to find out for you guys. And then Sa'i is also, that's a long walk. And then depending how far your hotel is, if your hotel is nearby, you might not have to walk much. But if your hotel is far away, and it's not far enough for a bus or or whatever, you may have to walk to your hotel. So it really depends how far your accommodation is. They do have like transportation available, so just, you know, bear in mind if that's what you need, then that's what you need. If you would like to walk, walk. Also remember that the weather there can get pretty humid, very scorching, so be careful of all of that. Okay, and then after Umrah, I think like the second or third day while we were in Makkah, my daughter and I got really sick. So as a pregnant person, you're already immunocompromised, and with like so many, like thousands of people in one place coming from everywhere, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So if you want to take a face mask or something, you know, do that. I'm not sure what the ruling is, if you can wear a face mask or not during Umrah. I think you can. You just can't like cover your face, like niqab and stuff. But yeah, take care of yourself while you're pregnant. Take your vitamin C packets, or we got like really bad COVID, so I physically, like, I could not get up. You know, I was so exhausted, one from the pregnancy, two from like the sickness. So rest when you can, but also make the most of the time that you have there, because it's not every day that somebody gets to go to such a beautiful place, to such a holy place, and avail that, you know. Go for the prayers, go for a walk, go listen to the birds, the pigeons, the little cats in the street, you know. It's such a beautiful place. And Medina has my heart, because Medina is more peaceful than Makkah is. Makkah is busy, hustling, bustling, like, you know, all of that. There's so many people there. And then Medina is calm, tranquil. I want to go back. May Allah take us all there, inshallah. So yeah, that's gonna bring me to my last tip. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was that, so try to, if you're able to, it's more beneficial to get a hotel accommodation with like breakfast provided. And the reason for that is, you know, trying to find food in Mecca while, like, you know, going for prayers and taking care of your family, going back and forth to the hotel is really difficult. So depending where your hotel accommodation is it close to the Kaaba? Is it not? You know, it really depends. You don't want to be walking around the city all day looking for food and then come back to your hotel exhausted and then go pray and, you know, all of that stuff, or go do Omrah. So try to get like breakfast in. That's one meal out of the way. My youngest just woke up. I was trying to film quickly so that I could do it during her nap time. Anyways, do the breakfast accommodation if you're able to afford it. That's one meal out of the way, and then you can find lunch and dinner on the little shops outside, or, you know, a restaurant or wherever. And yeah, that is the end of my Umrah tips. Please, please, please go watch the Umrah vlog. You will not regret it. It's a fun vlog. I love taking you on that journey with me. It was a wonderful journey. We had not announced our pregnancy at the time, so I'm finally, like, you know, a year and a half later, able to make this video for you guys. Yeah, we will see you all next time on Meals with Minnie. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And we will see you all next time.